Hello, my darlings. Welcome to another episode of The Clueless Mum with me, Nadia Essex. Well, another week. We made it. First of all, how quickly are these weeks flying by? The days are flying. And I'm not sure if that's because Zeke is obviously at school every day, but because he finishes earlier, the day just seems a lot shorter. I have to do like a full-time job in the space of like part-time work. I actually don't know how people do it. Like, we're expected to drop the kids off at 8 a.m., go to work for say 9 a.m., pick the kids up at 3 p.m., but yet work till 6 p.m. The whole Western world is so backwards because it's like if we didn't have these children, the human race would cease to exist. So why are you making it so difficult for us to want to have children? And so difficult for us to want to work? Because also, do you know what? It's something crazy, and I don't know the stats. But if the women that wanted to go back to work did, we would raise the economy by something like, I want to say 2 billion. Like, there's a lot of money that could come back into the economy if we just helped women especially go back to work if they wanted to. It's crazy. I mean, I remember when I lived in London, my nursery bill was £1,200 a month, and that was for 3 days a week nursery, which is just, I look back now and I'm like, no wonder I was broke all the time. You're just like, I wondered where all my money was going. Like, I was skint all the time. And then I was scratching my head being like, I wonder where my money's going. 1,200 quid on 3 days of nursery. And then back in those days also, pretty much down the pub or, having a glass of wine with friends. Like, I spent a lot of money back then on alcohol too. You go and buy vodka's 20 quid for a bottle. You've got to have a bottle of vodka in your freezer. Bottle of wine is 10 quid a pop. If you go out to eat, it's like 30 quid a pop. So yeah, I think I spent a lot of money, like all my money was spent on nursery and booze. A little embarrassing to admit, but alas, that is the truth. And I'm going to be truthful about it because what's the point in not? That was my biggest spends were like groceries and nursery by a mile. I know my rent was, I think my rent was 2,000 something a month. But yeah, and then I wondered why I was skin, and I'm like, that makes sense. But here we are. I'm now a country girly. I do not live in London anymore. But actually, I went to London today for an event. There was Benecol, the cholesterol reducing amazing company, were hosting a breakfast with Joe Wiley and some like guest speakers talking about cholesterol. And to be honest, I feel like I'm quite healthy, but I don't know much about cholesterol. I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, I always just think it's for like old people or people that are really unfit. Like, I don't know, I just don't consider myself either of those things, so it's never really been on my radar. So I went up to London, got on the train, got all dressed up in my Marks and Spencer's dress. And yes, I'm wearing Marks and Spencer's comfies again today. We will do a whole nother episode on how much it blows my mind that I am now a Marks and Spencer's girly. Can't believe that. Like, that's what my mum wore, and now I'm that person. And it seems silly to use the word girly because I'm a grown woman, but I am a Marks and Spencer's fan, super fan, actually. Right, ADHD train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Benacol. Went up to London to this event with Benacol, and they talked about cholesterol, and I actually had my cholesterol tested. And in 42 years on this planet, I don't believe I've ever had my cholesterol tested before, but I did. And the results are in. I can't find the piece of paper, surprise, surprise, but I do remember. So I think the average cholesterol number that you're looking for is 5 and under. And my number was 6.3. So I'm like 1 point and a bit over. Anything under 7.5, they said was like not 7.5 and over, you're looking at medication, and that's can be dangerous. So it wasn't like in the danger zone, but it's just that 1 point over. However, all of my good cholesterol, so you've got like bad cholesterol and good cholesterol, so I think it's called triglycerides. I think. I'm not 100% sure. And forgive me if I've totally got that wrong, but I think it's called triglycerides, and they're the good cholesterol. So you have to have some cholesterol because some cholesterol is really good. And that number, it should be, I think she said 4 or 4.5 and below, and mine was 0.97. Not even 1, under 1. So like my good cholesterol is way up there, absolutely fantastic. And I thought that because I do have, I think in terms of like healthy fats, I do eat a lot. I eat a lot of avocado, I have olive oil, I have butter, I have like whole foods, nuts, eat a lot of fruit. I'm doing my walking meditation at the moment. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I love to meditate, but I can't meditate and get my 10,000 steps in at the same time because the 10,000 steps takes an hour. The meditation takes about 45 minutes. That's an hour and 45 minutes, darling. I don't have that in the day anymore. So I've started doing a walking meditation, which has blown my mind and changed my life. And actually, there's something about the walking that I don't know what it is at the moment. Well, I do know what it is. I feel like my ADHD symptoms are really flaring up since he started school. Like the couple of weeks before he started school, his behavior was absolutely wild. And so that flared up my ADHD, like coping mechanisms, symptoms. And we're out the other side of that now. Praise Jesus. He is a delight. He still pushes boundaries a little bit, but by goodness, he is a completely different child. He has gone from what I thought was, like the devil child when you're like, oh, my child. He's not like that. He's back to lovely Zeke. And I'm so happy and I'm so grateful. And I'm nice like, So we're having a really good moment at the moment. Completely lost my train of thought. I'm so tired. I think this is something as well. Let me know if this is an ADHD thing. I was out all morning and with adults chatting, people I haven't seen since I was pregnant, journalists and all sorts of stuff, like really back into like Nadia work mode. And when I got home, I was exhausted and I really felt like my what's it called? Social battery was depleted. I can't even talk. I don't know see how many times I've stuttered and gone over myself and lost my train of thought. I can't cope. I can't keep a thought in my head because I'm so drained that I'm wondering, is that like an ADHD thing? But if it is, it's like, how am I going to cope with that? Because I can't, that was one event and it was really easy. I sat and had breakfast and listened to people talk and had a coffee and mingled with my friends and people I haven't seen in ages. If that's going to zap me this much, maybe I'm just rusty. Maybe that's what it is. I'm just rusty from being out. Like I'm so used to just being like at home, no makeup on, in my comfies. And today I was like in heels and a dress with makeup and I had like tits and teeth. Da-da, darlings, I'm back. And maybe maybe I just am rusty. I'm not used to putting that much in. But then at the same time, I'm like, but then if I have to put on this, is it called masking? If I have to put on this like masking, like, is that healthy? And also, like, if I'm masking, is that the real me? Then who is the real me? Like, if I'm putting on this persona when I'm out, then who really am I? That's a bit of a head screwer upper. I'm gonna have to do some work on that, because I wonder, because I feel like if I just went, I can't even string a sentence together. This is crazy. I'm having a real, like, this is a real, whew, I'm gonna take a breath, actually. You can probably hear and feel anxiety through the phone or however you're listening. I'm just going to take a moment to try and regulate my nervous system, because I feel really, really, I'm going to cry. I'm really dysregulated. Oh my goodness. Whew, I'm not crying for any reason. I'm not sad at all. This is just a coping mechanism, I think. Really dysregulated. Oh my goodness. Whew, okay. I need some mantras, I think. I need to get some mantras to think about when I feel like this. I'm just going to take a minute to calm down. Maybe this is probably a good time to take a break. So I'll have a little break, and then I'm going to do some breathing exercises and come back, because, oh, I'm so sorry, guys, but I need a moment.
This episode of The Clueless Mum is sponsored by my very own app called Kidfluence. If you have a business and you want to work with influencers or content creators, then please get in touch. We have packages to suit every budget, and we can work on a gifting-only basis for all of our influencers for a competitive monthly rate. Check us out at kidfluencegroup.com.
Okay, I've taken some deep breaths, I've had a bit of water, and I feel a little bit more regulated. I'm really sorry about that. That was like a real time on the verge of a little anxiety attack, actually. That's never happened to me before. So I apologise. And if this is the first time you're listening, I'm sure you won't ever want to listen again, because I sound probably like a crazy woman. But that was, yeah, real time. My nervous system got overloaded, and I really couldn't cope. And I had to come away and take some breaths and have some water and really try and regulate myself. But that's the backlash, I think, from this day, and just the stress of not just today. It wasn't stressful. I had a really great day. I had such a good event. But I don't know. Maybe I've just found this couple of weeks really hard, and I'm working really hard. I think that's the other thing. And there's lots going on behind the scenes of my work. Like with my app and stuff, I'm really juggling a lot of plates. I'm trying to organize a brand trip at the moment. I am in the middle of developing my second version of my app. So that's quite time consuming. I have a whole new development team who are fantastic, and I'm so excited, and I'm hoping this will go out. When will it go out? It will go out hopefully just before, probably just before the new version of my app is live. But all being well, next week my app should be live, so then the week after podcast, I can talk about my new app, which is really exciting. It's the same app, but it's just a new version. So there's lots going on behind the scenes. So I think I'm just really stressed in terms of my plate is full. And even though I had a really good night's sleep last night, and this is actually really embarrassing to admit. So the night before last night, I had a terrible sleep. I had like 4 hours sleep, and I'm not good with no sleep. Last night I had, I think, 9 or 10 hours. I went to bed at 7:45. I put Zeke to bed at 7:30, and I brushed my teeth and got in bed and was in bed for 7:45, and I was asleep for gotta be 8:30, and then I woke up at 6, and I slept like a baby. So I'm going to try and do that again tonight. It's a little bit later than it's 8 o'clock at the moment. So I'm going to finish this and then I'm literally going to go and wash my face, brush my teeth and get into bed. I'm not even going to watch anything. That's what's really important of like trying not to scroll. I'd love to spend the next hour scrolling. I really find that scrolling helps regulate my nervous system. I don't know if it takes my mind off any anxiety that I'm feeling, or at the moment I'm kind of adding things to my basket on TikTok Shop. Like there's a lot. In fact, I just put in a big order. I don't know why I'm even saying that to you because it's absolute rubbish. I am adding stuff to my basket, but I just put in a big TikTok Shop order. If you don't know what TikTok Shop is, TikTok, the platform, has its own shopping facility. And basically you can buy all the like Temu and Shein stuff on TikTok Shop. And like everything's really cheap and from China. Not everything actually, that's not true. They had like a pair of Adidas trainers, real Adidas, and so like brands are starting to sell on there now. Billions of pounds goes through that company. I mean billions. It's actually embarrassing how many people I should get an affiliate link because the amount of people I've got onto TikTok Shop, it is once you start, like they have categories for everything. They've got children's clothes and children's toys and anything you could imagine for children. They've got furniture and homeware and garden sets and like indoor bouncy castle for kids and outdoor water slides and literally anything you can imagine is on TikTok Shop, and a lot of it's coming from China, and it's super duper cheap. And I remember when I first, this is how old I am, as in, I know I'm old, but TikTok Shop old. When I first used TikTok Shop, the delivery times from China used to be like 6 weeks, because obviously it was coming from China. Now, for whatever, I don't know how they've done it, but whatever they've done, you can get your TikTok Shop order within about a week, which it's coming from China. I think that's pretty incredible. So they're obviously making a lot of money because you have to pay a hell of a lot of money to get something from the China factory to a UK front door. Like the transport, the customs, all of that sort of stuff. So TikTok are making dollar, so much money. But it's a really good place to sell actually. So if you do have a small business or a brand, they take, I think, a lot less fees than Etsy. A lot less. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that. But I'm 99% sure they take a lot less commission. And they're really supportive as well. Like you can have your own like TikTok brand manager who will help you. Like you don't have to just navigate it all by yourself. And they're really supportive of like small business and entrepreneurship, which I think is great as well. So if you do have a business, get on TikTok. I'm telling you, people buy. People buy so much on TikTok. And I'm really excited to start like marketing again once my new version of my app is out. I'm really excited. We've got some fantastic businesses joining my app. And if you don't know about my app, quickly, it's not a plug. Well, it is a plug, but I'll quickly explain it for context purposes. So I have an app that is for influencers, and a business will post offers on my app to give free stuff to influencers in return for social media posts. Really, really simple influencer marketing. Done. Our niche is parenting, parents to be, or people that are planning a family. So if you are like a parent or a caregiver, so you've got like nieces and nephews that you spend time with, and the type of things, we have everything from like jewelry brands. This is a jewelry brand that I'm wearing at the moment. I always wear, if you've seen my Instagram, you'll see I wear this necklace. Days out, tickets to venture playgrounds, like different opportunities. One of them was like a 3-day loan for Tesla. So you get your own Tesla for 3 days. And so it's just a really simple platform with vetted businesses that will give you free stuff in return for social media posts. So if you are into content creation in any way, or you fancy yourself an influencer, or you already do it, It's a really simple way. We don't take any fees or commissions. Pay £2.99 a month to subscribe, and you have access to all the offers. And you just request what you want. And if you don't like an offer, you don't have to request it. No obligation. So hopefully it's the first of its kind. No one's ever done a parent influencer app like that before. We launched officially properly in April. So it's been a bumpy ride, not gonna lie. But we are 6 months in, and next week we're doing the new app, the version 2. And we've got some fantastic new businesses joining that I think people will love. I'm really happy. I literally speak to the companies myself, and I make sure that every single company on my app is like someone that I want to work with, because I feel like that's really important, because I want to foster a community. And we're going to start doing coffee mornings and online stuff, meetups. I'm going to have like a learning panel on there. I want to do like a place where you can learn and grow. If you are growing your brand and growing your content creation, you can go there and you can learn like what's the best ring light, what's the best microphone. It's not this little one, by the way, FYI, spoiler alert. The one that I use, this is from Amazon. It was like, I think it was about a tenner, and I bought a cable to connect it to my phone, so it worked, and it's not very good. It's better than nothing, but it's not very good. But I do have a new piece of kit that came, that I'm scared to open, if I'm honest with you. I want to start doing more content myself. I feel really inspired at the moment to do content. I know it's another thing I'm adding to my plate, which hence why I probably shouldn't, but I'll do some filming on my new piece of kit and see what you think, because I may use that to film the Clueless Mum, but then I won't need my little muff mic, so we will see. But I suppose I just want to say, actually, if you've stayed this long and you've listened this long, thank you. I feel really actually quite embarrassed about having a moment on here earlier. I'm really sorry. It's obviously been a bit of a tough day, tough week, tough few weeks, tough year, tough life. I feel better, and so I think it's just a good night's sleep. But thanks, and I hope you don't think I'm weird. And if you ever had any experiences like that before, please give me some feedback and some comments on how you cope. Like, is there anything else I can do to try and regulate myself, or is it just a case of some breathing in some water? So anyway, I'll catch you next week. Have a wonderful week. I hope you all. Oh, I don't even know what I hope. I hope you all have a bloody good one, is what I hope. I'm sending you all lots of love. Bye, darlings.